Hello, Play the Game family. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. This episode is brought to you by Lone Wolf Paintball. They are an online supplier and have been around since the beginning of the game as Michigan's premier paintball field and paintball supplier since 1987. They are rapidly expanding into the online retail space and supplying everything you need for paintball and to just have a great time out there at your local paintball fields. They're amazing for the paintball community, and they have got it all for you. Go to lonewolfpaintball.com to get any of your favorite brands, and head over there and take a quick surf on the Lone Wolf Paintball wave at lonewolfpaintball.com. They have what you need at a great price, and they boast amazing customer service and same-day shipping, which is outstanding because it's always nice to order something and know it's on its way immediately. So go ahead, give them a look, check out their YouTube, their Instagram. The Instagram name is Lone Wolf PB. YouTube is Lone Wolf Paintball. And keep up to date with deals, sales, and content. PTG is absolutely honored to have them on board. So head over to lonewolfpaintball.com and become a part of their community. This episode is brought to you by G2 Paintball. Super excited about G2. If you're in Arizona on the West Coast and soon to be nationally, be on the lookout for G2 Paintball. It is the best paintball athletics company in the world, designed to help you become the best paintball athlete by training paintball-specific movements. So all these movements that you're going to make on the field, we train you for them so that the muscle memory is dialed in and you're ready to go out there and dominate the field with your team when you have a tournament. Also, paintball athleticism is through the roof. It is higher than it's ever been, and if you're going to win a tournament, you've got to be ready to go the distance on Sunday when you're tired. That's the only way you're going to be able to hold up that trophy at the end of the day with your friends and family and celebrate, is if you put in the work and make the sacrifices to make sure that you're properly prepared for those moments. It's also training you, to be better off the field too. You're going to feel great after doing G2 athletics because it is a butt kicker. You're going to be sore and you're definitely going to feel it for the next day or two after one of these events. It's used by myself and Marcelo and definitely had a major part to play in how we performed in our World Cup championship together. We trained really hard with G2 prior to that, and the proof is in the pudding. So we want to make sure that we're pushing you to become a better athlete and hopefully go pro or dominate in your division. Don't make excuses. Be ready to go when the time comes on Sunday so you guys can win that tournament and have some fun with your friends and family. Be on the lookout for training dates. You can go to g2paintball.com and check everything out there. It is owned and operated by Victor Gamboa and Rusty Glaze. They are the best, and we hope to see you at an event soon. This episode is brought to you by Heal Brand CBD Co. Powerhouse. They are a CBD powerhouse in the landscape, and we are so excited to be partnered with these guys. They're moving and shaking in the paintball industry, and in 2021, you can expect to see them at some NXL events. They're going to be making a big push into the paintball industry and hoping to help you guys all heal out there and take care of your muscles and your body with these CBD products. They're helping people heal, and that's why they call themselves Heal Brand, and we're stoked to help them do that as well. They have something really cool called Nano Technology, and it is taking that raw hemp oil and putting it through an additional refinement process to break up the large CBD particle into microscopic greatness. That way, that particle can more easily move through the cell wall and get into your system quicker. Normal CBD takes quite some time before it actually starts to get into the system and you can feel the effects, whereas this nano CBD takes effect almost immediately and is able to pass through those cell walls and get into the system with exceptional rate. They have some amazing products like a Nano Amp Energy Shot, a Nano Knockout Sleep Aid, which is absolutely amazing. Both of them are. If you want to pep it up in the morning with the Energy Shot, or you want to get that quality sleep, use that Knockout Sleep Aid. It is really something special there. They have something for your pets as well, CBD for the pets, cool down creams for your muscles. As athletes, we definitely need that. And everyone deserves the opportunity to heal. Heal Brand wants to help you accomplish that mission, and we are trying to heal the world with them. If you head over to healbrand.com, HEALBRAND.com, use code PLAYTHEGAME, you will get 10% off. And a huge shout out to Heal Brand. Thank you for everything that you're doing for Play the Game podcast and in the paintball community as a whole. We are brought to you by Transfuse. Huge shout out to Transfuse. Absolutely love Steven, everybody over there at Transfuse, Trans Labs, everything that they're doing in the paintball community, and for just people in general trying to live a healthier life. You can definitely expect to see Transfuse at all the 2021 events and going to be making a big push. They have a nootropics that's going to be coming onto the scene here shortly, a brain booster. We actually got to kind of beta test it at World Cup. Obviously, it worked out pretty good because we were able to get that win out there, and it really felt good playing and having that nootropics on our side. So Transfuse, for those of you who don't know, is a premium rapid hydration multiplier. It is designed scientifically to replenish you at the cellular level, and they really care about the ingredients. It's so important to me. Anything that Marcelo or myself use has to have good ingredients, and they are mindful of that. It combats dehydration, mental exhaustion, supports your immune system, and is also a pretty sweet hangover remedy if you ever need a little help. If you've had a couple too many beverages, Transfuse works spectacularly in that regard as well. It's packed full of zinc, which is an essential vitamin in regulating immunity, and it improves brain function and can help with treating the common cold. Also has vitamin B6 to help lower cholesterol, boost brain function as well, and just makes you feel really good. It has sodium, potassium, choline, 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C, and is used by everyone under the sun. Festival goers, athletes, first responders, people trying to prevent the cold or recovering from the cold are all using this product. And it's so important during the landscape that we live in right now with COVID and everything going on. We've got to take care of ourselves, and you've got to boost that immune system, and Transfuse can help you do that. It's like Gatorade, Pedialyte, coconut water, emergency, all mixed together and created this hydration monster that they called Transfuse. If you want to check it out, you can head over to translabs.com. That's TRANZLABS.com. Use code PLAYTHEGAME, you get 10% off. In addition, if you sign up for a monthly subscription of Transfuse, you will also get another 10% off. So you could theoretically take advantage of 20% off on Transfuse products. Head over to translabs.com. Use that code PLAYTHEGAME and support the show and support paintball. Thank you so much, Transfuse, for everything you guys are doing. We appreciate it immensely. Yes, indeed. We have none other than Chad George, one of the best in the world at playing the snake side and lead attacker anywhere you put him. Dude's an absolute beast, and I'm honored to be his teammate and friend. He's a great guy. We dive into the rabbit hole and talk about his career, how he has made such a big name for himself and played for a lot of the best teams in the world, and now has been playing for Houston Heat for almost 10 years. So without further ado, let's hop into this and hang out with Chad George.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys. So Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
The man, the myth, the legend. We have Chad George on the show. Thank you so much, man. One of the best snake players of all time, unarguably, and just coming off a big win out there on the East Coast. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it, and can't wait to talk about playing the best game in the world, right?
Hey,
dude, that's it. Yeah, absolutely. We love talking about playing the game.
Absolutely.
We've wanted to get you on the show for a long time. It's a bummer we had to wait until Tyler went over and became your teammate to get you on the show, but
is it though? I mean, this is like, these players here, it's kind of perfect.
Yeah, I know.
It's good balance, I'm thinking.
Yeah, now I'm outnumbered.
It is.
Fantastic.
Sorry about that, man. This is what it is, but I appreciate it. And it's like you guys taking Ryan from me. It'd be like the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm. So it would be indeed.
Dude, Ryan,
what a call. Give him a call. What's he doing over there right now?
I don't know about that.
No way. His blood is on fire. It just runs with heat. Let's go.
Oh yeah, baby.
Dude, you guys have been together for a really long time. That's actually something that's so cool about your crew, your clique. Houston Heat is, kind of a new incarnation of Philly. And you guys have rolled deep together for a long, long time in the game. So that's awesome. It's a great brotherhood to have.
Absolutely, man. I mean, we've been playing together for so long, and we played on multiple teams together. Houston Heat, Impact, and Philly Americans. Absolutely, where I started. So it's
Yeah.
been awesome.
Dude, how many years have you guys been rolling together?
Well, I came around in Philly American days in 2007, but we known each other since probably 2005 and all the way up till now. Yeah, so
that's amazing.
16 years now, crazy now.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
Dude, that's so.
Yeah, you play the game with anyone for that long, you're gonna have some really good chemistry out there.
Oh yeah.
And that's such a huge part of the game that I don't know that all the listeners truly understand. But chemistry within a team it's crucial. It's vital. So many of these moves are made off of each other through body language and just understanding how your teammates want to play. And so if you're, that's why often too, some of the new teams you pick up, an all-star player or two, and it seems like on paper they should be really good, but it just takes time to gel. And sometimes they never gel. It's actually like Heat with Malloy. When Malloy came over that one year, didn't quite have a great season. It just wasn't jiving for him. That kind of stuff happens.
It does, yeah. And like you said, I mean, chemistry is a big thing, playing off each other's moves, playing off each other's body language. And you can really tell those top level teams when they've played together for a long time, or, they just know each other's playing style, because it's just so much easier and it just clicks so much faster, right? Those moves aren't thought about. They're just, okay, I see what he wants to do. He knows how I want to play. And, we just go for it. And just, you exploit those minute seconds where it's like, you can't waste those openings, and it definitely shows.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And in this game, I mean, especially at the highest level, no matter what division you're in, as you work up towards the top of that division, the teams that win are the teams that are processing and making those moves faster than the others, right? They're processing and they're reacting quicker than the other team. And chemistry plays a huge role in expediting that whole process.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's everything. And it's crazy because we've been playing against each other for so long, like myself and Houston Heat. And you guys, we've been studying each other for so long that when I came onto the team, honestly, it feels like I've been on the team for a long time, just because of how long we've been playing against each other. And like, we kind of already know each other in a sense, like we've been playing side by side, which is crazy.
Right. I mean, you play against someone for so long, like we have in our skits, Marcelo, you. I mean, you just know that their playing styles, kind of what they're looking for on the field, looking to attack, looking to defend, stuff like that. So it's just definitely so much easier to exploit other teams, and just basically you're not wasting time out there. It's just so much more fluid and the flow.
Yeah. And shit, you make my job easy, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You just keep their heads down, baby.
You just keep bunkering everybody, bro. There we go.
That's an important thing right there, though. A lot of people also don't understand the flow of a game and your role and your position. If you're a one, your job is to relieve pressure and create space for your two. That's your job. You got to apply pressure to the other team and create space so that your two can work. If you don't do that, if you have a front snake player or a front Dorito player that is content just sitting in the insert bunker, or looking cross field or getting into snake one, and that's all their goal is, the two's going to have a really tough time playing and doing their job.
Absolutely. It just makes their job so much tougher. I mean, you get down the field, you turn some guns, and they're right behind you then, catching loaders, actually being able to close the game. So, they're getting closer. When you do go and trade with that first snake guy or first Dorito guy, then, you have a guy right there, back it up, and having a guy like Tyler right behind me. Holy crap,
Yeah. Make it rain, baby. Scorched earth. That's what we were saying. You know how it goes. It's just
come on, dude. You used to say that on Dynasty, bro. You brought the same stuff over there. What the hell, dude?
Now it's more
kind of shenanigans.
Still works.
It's like taking your new girlfriend to the same restaurants you took your ex to.
Still good food, baby. Still good food.
Good service, good food.
Yep. Those drinks are good.
And it's actually it's a little bit more applicable, I think, on Houston Heat. You know what I mean?
Sure. Scorched earth. Damn, it kind of is.
Yeah. But dude,
so I gotta go. Actually, you think you guys can handle the show without me?
I don't know about that. We can work on it, but
yeah. All right, George, it's me and you, baby. It's been crazy, dude. Watching you as a player develop your skills over the years. You have stepped into your own as legitimately one of the best snake players to ever play this game. And I've been, since I was a youngster, I can't even remember how old I was, but even before we were like pro. I remember seeing you playing. I remember, watching your journey from like day one, and you have really just taken it to a whole new level. What would you attribute that to, that growth? It's just time, or are you putting in extra work, or how's that happening?
I mean, yeah, I mean, to be good at anything, you have to put constant work and consistent work, and never just working on just your strengths. You got to work on your weaknesses too, even a little bit more, right? So they just become your strengths. But I think what helped me so much is being surrounded by so many good players throughout my career that I would just learn from and literally be a sponge and soak up everything from practices, tournaments, and just literally it's just culminating into your game. Basically, you take a little piece from this person, you find this out, and you just bring it into your game, and you basically flourish on your style. Basically, you work into that.
Absolutely. Where are you at right now, actually?
I'm at my house right now in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh.
There we go. Dope.
Yeah. Been working your tail off, man. So you at the field today, yesterday, getting those reps in, getting those shots in. Is that at the Lux factory?
It is. Yeah. The DLX factory. Just go out back after work and rip a couple of bags, do some drills, usually some snap shooting, just some muscle memory stuff, and just whatever I can get in, stay sharp, get that, stay sharp.
Yeah. That's a huge thing, huge advantage to be able to have that too. We always talk about it. It's like paintball is kind of tough to be able to go out and get those reps, Sure. Not everybody has access to a field during the week. It's not like basketball or football where you can just go and get those reps in easily and on your own. So having a little setup like that in the back there is pretty sweet.
No, absolutely. It's huge. I mean, thinking about going to fields too, because you just have to drive a little ways to them. Not everyone's like super close to a field. And with working there at DLX, go inside, work my full day, and then, work on my gun. Go outside, do some snap shooting, get some drills in, and, it's perfect. Love it.
What do you do there?
At DLX?
Yeah.
A little bit of everything right now. Yeah. So
okay. You like build guns?
I'm building guns. We're doing engravings. We're doing testing on new stuff, and a little bit of everything. Trying to get my fingers in.
Cool.
All of it.
Awesome. Right on.
That'd be awesome to work there. You got. I mean, you've been
amazing.
A part of that company for quite some time now, right?
I just started coming back more this actual off season, and been working full time. But I've been going in there for a while now, and it's amazing, dude. We got Ryan Moorhead in there, Sam Monville, all of our friends, Adam Gardner. So it's just one big family. We just have a good time with it. Some days we'll be running around shooting each other with Nerf guns, gel blasters. Yeah. Got Adam pretty good the other day. Came in from lunch and just worked him over. Yeah, dude.
There we go.
It's awesome. It's a great atmosphere.
Love that.
Yeah, and that's cool to be able to, essentially those opportunities came from your playing career. You've built an amazing name and brand for yourself, and made those connections through your skill set. And any company would be lucky to have you on board. So that's cool, man. Happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are both going to the ICC soon, huh? You guys are going to be going heads up here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, baby.
I guess so. Who are you playing with?
Philly Americans, come on.
Yeah. They got all those things.
Come on,
right.
boy.
Yeah, baby.
That's right.
Come on, man.
All right, Philly.
Back out there, dude.
I got a pretty good record against Philly, so I feel good about it.
Yeah,
you do actually. You do. Yeah. We'll see about this one though, man.
Yeah, it's
such a fun tournament, dude.
Yeah, dude, I've never been. This is my first one.
Man, really?
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's the most fun tournament I look forward to every year, and it's I've never got the chance to play 10-man of old, and it's just like a time machine. Everyone's having a great time, sharing stories, having a great time in the woods. It's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
these fields are nostalgic, and
I can't wait, man. The last 2 years I was excited to go. I was supposed to go, and I got injured right before, and so I was like, I better not go and risk something else trying to run around playing 10-man in the woods.
Definitely not in the woods for sure. Mountains, the woods are brutal.
Yeah. But I'm excited, man. It'll be a good time. It'll be a good time for sure.
Dude.
But dude, those Philly rivalries, that was like when you first came into the league. I first came into the league. Tyler had already been in the league for like 8 years, but he already was doing the damn thing. But you and I both kind of came on the scene around the same time. So it was always, we were like the young upcoming players. And so, there was always, that kind of rivalry, at least in my head. I don't know if you had that, but
I was the same way for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
I was like
on the same scene at the same time as me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And from East Coast, West Coast, you know.
Right. Absolutely.
It's funny. Right
What-
on, man.
Have you seen the fields for the ICC yet?
I have, yeah. We played a couple weeks ago on them. They're
Nice.
awesome. dude. Yeah.
Oh, what? You get the you get a little
Home field
court
advantage, baby.
Damn. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He
knows.
Test them out. Check them out, dude. Woods Ball
Yeah.
Field's amazing. Hyperball's turfed. The mounds is actually my favorite, though, dude. You can get lost
Ooh.
in there. Just nothing better than coming over top of a mound, pop, pop,
Yeah,
ripping somebody up, dude. It's amazing.
that's
Dude,
full.
mounds
That's
are
full
dope.
headshot. Yeah,
Oh yeah, right to the top of some dude's dome.
yeah. Oh,
Do you
brutal.
know I know they were talking about having the finals field be the mounds field. Do you know if they made that decision or not?
I do not know if they made that decision yet. I believe it actually might be the Hyperball Field.
I hope
Mhm.
it's the hyperball field.
I
Yeah,
think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I know they were talking about it, but got to be on the hyperball field.
Right, and it makes sense. I mean, that's the one Go Sports is filming, so I'm pretty sure it is.
Of course. Yeah.
Well,
that's
no,
gonna be
that's
cool.
that's what they were talking about, is making the mounds field like the one that they film and set up on.
Perfect. I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, bring
All
it
of
on,
it.
whatever.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All of it.
It's
Uh-huh.
man, it's so much fun running around like in the trenches, through the bushes, on the hyperball field. I grew up playing hyperball. That was like my first entry into paintball. So anytime I can play some hyperball, it's the best time on earth right there.
So much fun. It's such a nostalgic sound and just
Yeah.
Mhm.
10 dudes out there ripping. It's
Yeah.
unlike anything else.
20 lunatics running around shooting at each other. You know, there's spray everywhere. People are getting ran down. It's just madness. It's the greatest.
Oh yeah, you can get shot through these tiny little cracks, and you're just like, come on, but it's just the way it
Yeah.
is, dude.
I
Just the
know.
way it is.
Just the way it is.
Yeah.
Can't
Play
complain.
the ball as it lies.
That's it. Play it as it lies, brother. It's going to be fun.
Oh, I'm stoked, man.
Yeah.
Oh, was hoping to get you out there, brother.
I know. It
We
just
had so
like
much fun with the ICPL,
the best. I know. If Dave Baines didn't get that penalty, we would have won that.
right?
Oh, yeah. I
We
know.
had a
some
bad
shade on
shakedown
him.
on the first
Yeah.
rip or first finals game. Though we had lost a couple bodies in the break, and yeah, it was
Yeah.
unfortunate that somehow a bird dropped a ball on Dave Baines' pack or something. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. Me and Dave
Oh,
go
was
way
it a
back.
shenanigans? Was it a shenanigans kind of penalty, or
I don't know. I was too far up front. I just heard the commotion behind me and
Oh, no.
Yeah.
tried to make something happen. And I was like, "Here, Tyler, every game, should I bunker him? Let's go bunker him." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, but we'll give us a second. We got to try to even this body count up."
Yeah.
Should I
I'll get
bunker
him. Not yet. Hang on. I don't think you'll make it.
Oh, dude,
I
I'll
love
slither.
the enthusiasm.
I'll
It was
slither
great.
right up. I'll slither right up on him. You know what I'm saying?
Right through the middle, baby.
Yeah, right
That's
through the
hilarious.
middle. I'm always trying to bunker somebody. That's my first question. Should I bunker that guy? You guys are
Should we
like,
go
"Nah,
get him?
give
Can
it
we
a
get
couple
him?"
more. Yeah. And me and Dave go way back. That's one of my really good friends from growing up. Like, he pretty much raised me in the game. Wednesday night paintball with Rich Telford and Thomas Taylor and Dave Baines when I was like 12 years old, before I went pro and stuff. That's my roots right there. So no shade to Dave, but it is what it is. My boy got us
Yeah,
the penalty. I was like, no, Dave.
Call it how you see it, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was the game where me and Ryan were in the middle and they were all flanking us on all sides. That was that game.
Oh, this is the one.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sounds
Yeah.
miserable.
We had a
Being
bad
the
break.
last two.
It was looking real bad from the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that sounds miserable. But if you pull it off, that would be dope. That'd be the most epic story. You guys find some way to hide and hunker down, and you just start picking people off as they're running by you. That'd
Yeah.
be tight.
Oh yeah.
That'd be
Mhm.
tight.
Especially on
Well,
that field too. It was,
you
it
want
was
it?
getting pretty dark out there. I think it was like what 8:30, Tyler, and it was
Yeah.
real hard to see.
Yeah,
I
see,
mean-
I'm not down with that at all. Woods ball at nighttime, that just sounds miserable.
Oh, it sounds horrible.
It sounds horrible.
It was not
like,
sweet.
Like people are not coming out. First of all, hey, so and you get a penalty. How the hell did Dave get a penalty?
Dude, Hawkeyes and the ref. I don't know, man. They're all over us.
Yeah.
The ref came in. I was like,
Got
I'm
it.
not even getting shot at right now. He yells at me for telling him not to do his job, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, man, just check me real quick. All right, no one knows I'm here. He leaves. My bunker starts lighting up. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a beacon. Thanks, dude.
I even yelled at him. I
That
said, "Hey,
stinks.
get out of there, ref. What are you doing in there?"
Get out of there.
Bird dog, I'm a player, ref.
Yeah, come on.
That helped the cause for
Yeah.
sure.
I know.
He came right after you, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Don't yell at the refs. That's rule number one.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's 10-man is amazing. I'm really excited to see who walks away with that one at the ICC. That's going to be a fun tournament.
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a bloodbath. There's 79 teams, I believe, and we got the 5-man on Friday, so it's gonna be a lot of people there. It's gonna be amazing.
Are you guys playing the 5-man too?
We are, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I don't think I think Dynasty is, but I'm not playing in the 5-man with them.
Okay.
Yeah, get there. I don't want to go play 5-man. I'm going to play 10-man, you know?
I get that. And field walking day,
10-man.
but it'll be fun. Get the guys going on the fields, get some field walking in as you're playing, and it'll be good.
That's probably the best way to do it.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
That's a lot of teams, man. I didn't realize that it was that many.
Oh yeah. Blowing out this last one, man. It's gonna be great. Can't wait.
Yeah.
All for Timmy, baby. All
That's
love.
right.
Tim, man, absolutely.
Everything for him, man. And it's so amazing to see 10-man flourishing. There's so many different 10-man tournaments going on, and people are having the time of their lives out there running around in the thicket.
It's the best time.
Yeah. It's great.
It's so much fun.
Heck yeah. Hey, I want to before we dive into your lineage and your grassroots in the game, I just want to pick your brain in regards to your training, and I'm sure it'll come up more in the show. But you're one of the most athletic people in paintball, and I'm sure you hear it all the time, but what are you doing to stay on top of your game athletically? Not only as a paintball player, but just in life, making sure that you feel healthy every day. What does your regiment kind of look like?
Weekly, I mean, try to get as many workouts in as I can a week. I kind of vary them throughout, Olympic lifting, a lot of plyometrics, a lot of sprinter workouts. So I'm just trying to stay as agile as possible, and eating right, obviously, that always helps. Drink a lot of water, but I just basically try to train harder than I would, be playing in a match. Obviously, there's nothing that compares to actually playing paintball. You can train all you want, and then you go out there and you play a game. You're like, okay, I'm still, pretty exhausted. You're screaming, you're running, you're sprinting, you're, thinking on the fly. You're wearing a mask, wearing all those clothes in the heat. So, anything you can do to actually make that a little easier and bridge that gap between not having to think about that, not having to think about getting worked over by, any other variable. So you can actually think about, what's going on in the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, we talk about that a lot. I think communication is the biggest one that wears you down. It is so hard. Like, you don't ever train for that. But maybe that's the move, is to start doing uphill sprints in some park by yourself where no one's around, and just be
screaming
the whole time. Like,
wouldn't that be a sight? Someone's calling the cops on you for sure.
100%. Like, I don't know how you get away with that.
It might
but
be
it's
a move though.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, like I know for me, that's what does it, is the communication. That's what takes it out of me, man.
Absolutely.
It's cooked. You're like not really breathing, yelling. I mean, it's just, it tortures you.
Or just, everyday life, you can just start yelling more at people and be like, I'm training for paintball,
Yeah. Can I get a hot latte, please?
Just yelling everywhere you go.
I said no cream.
2 sugars.
Yeah.
Or you can be like Ryan Moorhead, sing it out, 2 sugars. 2 sugars.
2 sugars. Dude, it works every now and then.
It does.
Honestly, I use it when my voice gets kind of tired, because it's a much more manageable tone. It really is. It's
it actually saves your voice, and if your voice doesn't carry that well, it just helps so much. Thank you, B. Youngs, for teaching Ryan that, because his voice did not carry before that.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh,
it was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Who? It was B.
Shout out to B.
It was B.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she was one of the loudest voices ever in paintball. You could hear her from just about anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
What a legend she is.
And yeah.
She's the best,
Absolutely.
man. All right, well, let's hit it. Let's hear how you got into paintball. Rochambeau, is it a birthday? What do we got going on here?
It is not a birthday, actually.
Hey.
Not a birthday.
I knew I liked you.
It was,
Just kidding. Nothing wrong if it's a birthday for your first time,
Yeah, party it up.
Hey, anyone's playing paintball, good in my book for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I was actually riding my bike around town with a few friends, and heard there was some school kids playing at this park, right? and they were playing paintball. I've never seen it before. So we went down there, rode around, and watched them for a little bit. They finished up a little bit, just shooting the shit, playing in the woods. They came over. I'm like, how bad does that actually hurt? Kid pulls his gun up right towards my thigh and just rips to me with his Brass Eagle pump. Who knows what, chrono it was at or what. Yeah, I was like, oh, all right. I'm gonna need to borrow a gun here. Let me see that. Play this dude one-on-one, worked him over for a couple one-on-ones, and I've been hooked ever since.
How old were you?
I was 13.
13,
yeah.
Yeah, nice. And how old are you now?
I am 31.
31. Okay. Yeah,
32 next month.
Nice. Yeah. Man, what
Been
a
doing
time!
it for a minute, right?
Yeah. A long time. Been doing it longer than we haven't been doing it. That's for sure.
That's true.
Yeah. I
So
wouldn't have it any other way.
when you rolled up out there to watch, you didn't have a mask on. You were just like, yo, what's going on here?
Yeah. I mean, we stayed our distance a little bit, but I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't super safe. But I mean, we were playing with BB guns a long time ago, and when we were kids earlier than that, and shooting each other and stuff. It's fine.
You'll shoot your
You didn't
eye
die.
Yeah, you're
still
good, man.
You're still here.
For sure.
Yeah.
You gotta toughen up.
That's it, dude.
We used to do some reckless stuff.
We have, yeah. Nowadays, I'm like, ooh, there's a hole in that nut over there. I'm walking away.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Before the finals with Ryan, that was crazy. Moorhead got shot
wild.
in his eye. He was up against the net, and then his face, he was like watching the game, and a ball hit the net and actually like smoked him in the eye. So stay away from the net if you're watching.
Scary.
Yeah. Careful with that. Yeah. I think one ball actually like hit the net, pushed the net towards his face, broke, and then the second ball he said he felt touch his eyeball there. I was like,
dude, that was
so I'm glad he was all right, man. That was wild. But I had like a similar thing with that practicing Naughty Dogs. Probably I think it was my second year on Philly. I'm sitting there filling a tube, watching someone slide into the corner, and ball comes right to the net and like just breaks right under my orbital bone. So
oh my gosh,
scary stuff, dude.
Yeah,
I wish that upon anybody for sure.
Dude, I was walking through a Huntington Beach venue with Bobby Aviles a long time ago, and we're walking through. I'm wearing sunglasses, and all of a sudden I get shot directly in the left lens. I mean, if I wasn't wearing glasses, it was directly in my eyeball. In walking through the vendors area, ball just got sent over. It was crazy. We were literally just walking and talking, and all of a sudden, just crack. I was just stunned, dude. Like,
do not forget your sunnies at the field.
Exactly.
Even in the grandstands, man, I'm always wearing them.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Yeah. Moral of the story, definitely wear sunglasses and goggles and don't have your face against the net.
Any eye protection, monocle, whatever you got, dude.
A monocle.
Eye patch.
Anything helps. That's 50% coverage right there. So that's, better than nothing.
Good. Yeah. Jason Trozen used to walk around practice. He's like, dude, you don't need a mask. I carry these 2 paintballs around practice all day. I don't think you guys will shoot them.
No way.
Well, that's sound logic, but not doing that.
Madman.
Madman. Wild man.
Dude, we were younger, man, that guy was having fun. I love that guy so much. When I was coming up on Oakland, I just remember watching all the Philly guys just having the time of their lives. And that's the best part about team sports is you get to like, just live loud with your brothers and have fun and enjoy life, travel around. And it's one of the greatest, kind of escapes from like normality that there is, all these team sports that we're able to so fortunately play, as a unit.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, that camaraderie and that brotherhood is what it's all about. You're traveling, you're spending so much time with these people on and off the field that, you just have to like the guys that are around you. And it's a big deal, like being able to mesh with those people and have a great time because, that's what it's all about.
That's it, dude.
Having a good time out there.
It's everything. Hey, don't mind, my wife is going to start vacuuming because one of my kids just dropped a glass in the kitchen. So if we hear the vacuum going, that's what that is.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No casualties.
That all cleaned up.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Except for the glass.
No, except for the glass. Crying, we're good.
Yeah, I know. I heard the glass break and I was like, okay, let's see. We're going to get a cry. Okay. We're looking good here.
All right, nice.
So don't mind the vacuum coming into play here. So after you went out without your goggles and were introduced to paintball for your first time riding by.
I put goggles on to play, but watching. Didn't have them watching for sure.
So you bummed the goggles off the player. You're like, yo, give me that. I'm about to
Oh yeah,
step
I had
in
a buddy
here.
that was standing there too. I'm like, I'm gonna need to see your gun real quick. So
Dude, that's legendary. That's amazing.
it's pretty sweet.
Nobody
I was
has,
stoked
I
ever
mean,
since.
nobody has a story like that that's come on the show. That's crazy.
I was stoked to tell it. I heard all these birthdays. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Coming in.
Not a
Coming in
birthday for
hot.
once.
Yeah, I like that, man. So what, what took place next? What, made it transpire into this lifelong passion?
Well, like I said, I couldn't get out of my head. I was just hooked instantly, and there was a local paintball store around my town, and I literally spent so much time there, reading all the magazines, hanging out with the owner there, and just trying to get out and play with them. They would set up their airball field with all the tubes and the fans in the corner, and I'd go out and play with them. And we ended up opening a indoor field right in town. So I worked at that, opened it with him, worked at that, and I would go up there after school, work, do drills, play. I would even clean the paint off the field on the weekends and use that for drills and just whatever, just to get out there and practice more, play more.
Yeah. Dude, that's
So
where it's
coming
at
from
right
that,
there.
it was just, we had a team out of there, and we started playing some 7-man, some local events around the area. Ended up driving out to Denver. I actually saw Tyler play that one-on-one. He was a little guy.
No way.
And I was watching in the stands. I was like, yep, I want to play that dude someday. That's for sure. And I saw that win. And I was like, that's pretty dope. But yeah, I played that event. Just played a couple more local events. And then I actually found out from a friend that there was a tryout in Pittsburgh area for a local team out of the All-American Paintball Park. And they were just putting a team together as like a kind of a feeder team for Philly, but it was just to get, some experience and local recognition for the park. And decided to go out and try out for that. He told me it was a Sunday only tryout. So I show up, and it was actually a 2-day tryout. Felt horrible. And I was like, sweet, I'm not going to get a shot. And then my mom was kind of like, all right, we went and talked to Tim Montresor, and I was like, she's like, can you at least let him get in a couple of points? So I went out there, stunted for a little bit, and played the rest of the day. And they're like, all right, he's too good not to pick up. And
Yeah.
that felt pretty sweet. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Now, did they tell you Sunday only to test and see if you would show up Saturday because you wanted to play, or was it a true mistake?
It was a true mistake. There was a friend from the actual indoor that I played at, or in my area, my hometown. And, I went out there and I was like, okay, if it's a Sunday only tryout, we showed up super early. We drove 4.5 hours to Pittsburgh, and then come to find out, I was like, Tim was like, no, you cannot play. There's these guys have worked for 2 days now, or a day now, and it's not fair to them. And I will thank my mom. Thank you. You definitely pleaded with him a little bit, and he actually let me go on the field. And he's like, all right, the least I can do is let you play for the day. And played pretty well. And they were like, okay, well, he's pretty much better than every one of these other dudes, so we'll pick him up.
Yeah, that's what people always ask us, like, how do I get on the team? What do I do? Well, go out there and shoot a lot of people on the paintball field, and they're going to pick you up. It doesn't really matter if you got the skills and they need that spot filled, they're going to put you in the game. You're going to be on that squad for sure.
Right. Definitely just, show them show them something they haven't seen before, and just do it consistently, right? Be that, force to be reckoned with on whatever side or position you're playing, communication, be an attacker. So
yeah, absolutely.
Were you always a snake player?
I dabbled a little bit playing Doritos when I first started, and then quickly found out that I like the snake a lot more. So mainly snake pretty much the whole way through.
Tyler and I have been trying to move away from even calling it that, snake player, Dorito player. I feel like you're either like a 1, 2, or 3. You're an attacker, mid player, or a support player. Because obviously you can go to either side of the field and attack it, but the fans and everyone listening to this show, they always see you play in the snake at the tournaments, and so they attribute that to snake player. But you've always been an attacker, always been hyper aggressive, and that's your style.
Always been a 1, man. It's just so much more fun up there.
Hey,
it is
there
fun
we go.
Up there.
Yeah,
it is more fun up there for sure.
It's just different shapes. I mean, everyone should be able to play every side of the field. Obviously, so what's going on the other side of the field, right? So what your other teammates are going through, what they're working through, how to put more pressure on those guys when you're in, your dominant side or your dominant position you're playing. So I think that's huge, and that's key that a lot of players don't exploit enough. They don't, they pigeonhole themselves into one position, and I think they, be multifaceted a little bit more and work on those different, speeds, different, being the one, the two. I honestly don't think there's really any threes in the game anymore. There shouldn't be. I think it's all, a 1 and 2 and a 2 looking to be a 1 as soon as that 1 does his job.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Absolutely. And then also, like, at a practice, run through it to where you have, your 5 players. Obviously, the farthest wide guy on the Dorito side will play that, position. And then you have the inset guy, and then the other players follow, but rotate through that lineup. So the guy who's on the Dorito side after that point moves in 1, and then you just go down the line so that he's the 2, and then there's a new 1, and play like 10 or 15 points that way. That way everyone gets, 2 or 3 looks at every position on the field. If you run through those 5 players going to every single spot for 10 or 15 points, it's really a great way to like open up your practice. That way, right off the bat, you don't pigeonhole yourself, like you said, and then you have players that are only getting looks at these spots. Go through, rotate through every position, on that first day, and really get a good feel for it. It's super beneficial for everybody.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're learning an actual layout too, that's one of the best ways to learn it. You just learn what your other guys are going through, and what you can do on your side to put these guys in a worse position, or in a vulnerable position early.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's crucial to be able to play all those spots. You could be a 1 on the snake side, and you feel like the back center can keep you from making a move, but then once you go and play the back center, you realize how hard it is to actually hold that zone or make that shot. And so just kind of those, you'll notice those things, and it'll open your eyes to how you could better play your position. Yeah, it's a solid way for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
What was the name of your first team, like your very first team that you guys called yourselves?
Very first team was Triple Threat, 3-man, obviously.
Boom. Yeah, 3-man.
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
Dude, that's tight.
Yeah.
Triple Threat.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. And what was the name of? What?
Took second on that. Yeah, dude. We won every game, and they got to the finals, got steamrolled by some bigger dudes. They just started running at us, and weren't ready for it.
Yeah. That's crazy. First tournament, second place. Damn.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then the store that you guys opened that field up and worked at, what was the name of that store out there?
It was Stone Mac Factory. It was actually an indoor. Yeah.
Stone Mac.
We had a full-size 7-man indoor.
Damn, the Stone Cold Mac in the building.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mac Attack.
Mac Attack.
Full-size 7-man indoor facility. That's pretty badass. Absolutely. How was the lighting?
Lighting was really good. Actually, no poles in it too. So.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was pretty awesome
to come by.
The first time I ever saw Philly play was actually at that indoor. There was a big snowstorm in the Northeast this one year, and we had about 10 7-man pro teams out there to practice. So ended up reffing and caught Todd Hugo cheating. Had to pull him out. I was like, I don't know who this dude is. Like, you just got smoked in the head. You got to come out, Todd.
Oh, I'm sure he loved that.
He gave me an earful for sure. But then I joined the team, and he was like my older dad. It was awesome. Yeah. So funny.
Dude, that is. You guys, man, definitely the most legendary team to come out of the East Coast, I know that I was heavily influenced by East Coast paintball, as well as the West Coast, obviously from where I'm, was at when I was younger, but just watching all the East Coast paintball players, you guys have your own style, your own way of approaching the games. And, no matter what team is out there, you can learn something from everybody. So, there's so many different styles and ways to play this game. And if you just do your best to do your homework and watch different teams, you can pick up a bunch of cool insights from East Coast, Texas ball, Florida ball, Cali ball. They all have their own styles.
Absolutely, man. That's one thing, like when I first started, it was like, picking different styles from certain people and just kind of emulating that. And that's kind of like what brought me into, trying to figure out what my style was. Right. So just emulating different players, stealing, different things that you liked about their style, and just working on building your own.
That actually, if you don't mind, one of our Discord members, Alex Cooper, he had a question that kind of relates to that. And it was, who was your biggest inspiration growing up, either paintball player or public figure, and why?
Growing up, I mean, as soon as I figured out who Philly was when I first started, I'd have to say it was probably Adam Gardner and Tim Montresor. I would say just those dudes, the way they play, and just kind of emulating Tim's play from when he was playing in the Snake and just being a force to be reckoned with point after point. And I'd have to say it was probably Tim. He was probably most influential to my career. And then, getting to play alongside him was just, amazing. Learning so much from him and just creating that brotherhood.
Awesome, man. Yeah, absolutely. Tim was a dominator in the Snake. I think a lot of listeners and players today don't remember him as the one,
Yeah.
But yeah, he was relentless. That's cool. Awesome. And Adam Gardner, I don't know if I've ever seen him play.
He's a sneaky dude. The Goose.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's you'll see him this next week or a couple weeks in 10, man.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
I can't wait.
He doesn't shoot very much, but when he does, he's not missing for sure.
Makes him count.
He makes them count. Yeah. You're almost like, you dodge a ball, you're like, where the hell did that come from? He's only shooting one. He carries 2 tubes, but he always comes back out with the same 2 tubes. I don't know.
That's hilarious. So that was me growing up. When I was a kid at the paintball field, I'd go out with 3 pods, and I had an Angel, but I put a single trigger frame on it, so I couldn't even shoot it fast.
Right.
And my dad would take all my pods. I would shoot a hopper over 2. You would usually play 2 games when you go out on the walk-on fields. You'd play from one side and then switch. I would shoot a hopper. I would get my kills too, but I just didn't
sharpshooter, baby.
Yeah, it was just all about just one balling, dink, dink.
Yeah.
Do they call him
paintball then?
Yeah.
Do
they call him Goose from like Top Gun, or what's the nickname?
I'm actually not sure on the nickname. I've just always heard him, call him the Goose.
Dude, that's rad. There's a Goose game. My kids play it, and they run around, and it's these 2 mischievous geese, and they just run around and like take the farmer's rake, or like, do all these crazy things in this town. It's actually pretty funny for Nintendo. Check it out.
Hell yeah.
Check it out.
Mischievous Goose.
Mischievous Goose.
Double geese.
Yeah.
All right, Chad, let's kind of dive back into the lineage here.
All right.
So you're on that first team, Triple Threat. You guys got 2nd place. How did your career evolve from there?
It was actually the All-American Heroes. I think we left off on the first 3-man team was like the very first when I first started playing. But so I got on the team with All-American Heroes, played a couple local events around the Pittsburgh area, and
what division was this?
Back then it was probably D3, I'm guessing, or like probably just not amateur, rookie back then. Okay. But that was in 2005, and then so it's like it was a feeder team, but only a couple kids would get asked to come and practice with the Philly guys or against the Philly guys, and that's kind of how I started working on with them and getting in with them. They would just womp all over us, but they would teach us the whole time and actually help us out, so that was huge. And
you got to have that. You have to have someone that's beating you up. I mean, that's the only way you're going to get good at paintball.
School hard knocks, man. That's what, they taught me how to actually, go in there and, if you get bunkered, you just got to keep going in there. Right. And it's just, that's kind of how I've played my whole career, and just going in there, keep, being a force and trying to actually work towards making that guy work to get you out. Right.
That's everything for sure. Yeah. You gotta be relentless, especially at the pro level. And we're all playing mind games and, trying to definitely put it on each other to kind of deter people from getting in those spots. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you got to just be relentless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones that just continuously do it over and over. I mean, you're never going to get through 100% of the time. You're just not, there's so much focus on you, right? It's all about you really just need to break through more than the other team does. And, and lead the team that way. And so it is a very mentally challenging position for players to be in, because you'll have quite a few bad points in a match, but you can still be the MVP of the match too, with all those bad points, because if you just continue to be relentless with it, you could break open a lot of games.
Yeah. It's basically a war of attrition when you're out there, man. I mean, you're going to get shot in the break. You're going to get a bad shake on, couple calls, but it's
Mhm.
just going in there game after game and trying to do everything you can to put the team in a better position.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's another thing too, is it does put the team in a better position. It opens up the whole playbook. It relieves pressure from, all of your other teammates. It puts a lot of focus. If you continuously, all you have to do is break through once, and then the team that you're playing is worried about you for the rest of the match.
Right.
And actually, that's why you guys are such a dangerous team, because you guys have so many weapons that you have to worry about, where, your starting five on any other team would be, the highlight, where teams, when they're preparing for you guys, they're like, okay, how are we going to, stop Chad, stop Tyler? How are we going to stop Fedorov? It's really nasty, all the weapons that you guys have.
Mm-hmm.
So being that player is massive.
So we do have a deep roster, and that's, it's very crucial these days where, you're playing in the heat, you're playing these long matches, and, sometimes some people have a bad game, you put someone else in, trust in those guys, and it's huge to have a deep roster.
Yeah.
Very fortunate.
Yeah. And you got the hardest job on the field, essentially as the number one snake guy. It's a lot of work. And if you don't have someone to, every 4 points give you a breather, you're going to run yourself into the ground, and then you're kind of worthless. So you definitely have to have almost like two number one snake guys. And obviously one's going to play a little bit more, but that other guy is just as important. It's all about the team. The team wins these championships, and we have to make sure everything's well-rounded. That way, when we have someone that gets tired, because it inevitably happens, when you're in the heat, that we have someone else to get in there.
No, for sure. And just having that deep roster, being able to get guys going, and, because throughout the weekend, it's going to be a long weekend, and just being able to have those guys fresh for, say, the finals, right? I mean, I needed a couple of points this past Philly event. Just run your body into the ground every time in that super soft ground they had. But, it's it's great. Wouldn't want it any other way, for sure.
I know.
Love that job.
I see you riding your bike too. You've been training on the bike. That's got to be great, low impact training. What would you say the benefits are of riding the bike?
Well, I would say it was low impact if I was just riding flat, but I'm usually either going up or down or hitting jumps. So yeah,
there we go.
Definitely ripping on the mountain bike, just keeping the body ready.
Up and down is pretty low impact, but the jumps not so much.
Yeah. If you saw some of the downhills I was doing, it was not that low. It's pretty gnarly, but
was
fun.
How are you get? Oh, I see. Yeah, because you're on the trails. Yeah.
Ripping on some trails.
Yeah.
Anything for that thrill, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty gnarly. That's cool though too. You're outdoors in the mountains. It's got to be beautiful, peaceful.
It's the best. Love being outdoors, snowboarding, mountain biking, just anything outside, man. Hiking, trail running, it's the best.
You do a lot of rock climbing too, right?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. That's an amazing workout. Full body, man.
Oh yeah. Mind and body. You got to be, reeling it back the whole time you're up there. And it's really good for mental focus and just being able to calm everything down in the moment and just kind of reel back that fear of being up there.
Yeah.
Do you do outdoor stuff as well? I'm sure
a little bit. Yeah.
All with a rope. I'm sure you don't do any of the free climbing, do you?
What's that? No. I mean, I've done a little bit, but it's like maybe only 40, 50 feet off the ground. So it's not too bad.
That's still nuts though, dude. Screw that.
Definitely get hurt falling for sure from that distance, but
jeez.
My boys,
George.
He's going for the rush, dude. He's living it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Anything for the adrenaline rush, baby.
Yeah, I love rock climbing too. I'm not 40, 50 feet up, no rope in it, but I definitely go to like the indoors. And man, now the more that I think of it, it goes so well hand in hand with paintball. It's such a difficult workout, but then the mental aspect I think is even more impressive. How when you're dead tired climbing, you still have to process the information and know your holds, know what your next moves are. And it's just really good for paintball. Absolutely.
Yeah. Make the right decisions when you're up there. Obviously you need to. So it just, helps correlate all of that and being able to just get in that flow state and just relax calm your breathing, just like in a paintball match where, you're trying to think, put this field map in your head as you're playing. Everything's happening so fast around you that, you're just basically seeing through the bunkers, seeing a field map in your head, trying to see these lanes, where they're coming from, and then just, being able to play that and communicate to your players. So definitely helps.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the game right there. I mean, the players that do that the best are the ones that walk away with the trophies, and we talk about it all day at our training camps and clinics. You got to be building the map in your mind and really diligently being hungry for that information. It's not going to land in your lap. You got to get it, and nobody's going to give it to you. You got to earn it out there and put the information together. And I think that's one of the hardest things that players have tackling is being hungry for that information, or even knowing how to process it.
Right, absolutely. I mean, being able to actually put that, field map in your head, or just kind of seeing what's going on the field by feel and what's happening around you, that's the next level of field awareness, obviously. And it just helps so much with being, physically fit, so you're not thinking about that. Your gun and everything else is working. That's, you're not worrying about any other variables but what is actually happening in front of you and what you can do to help the team. So.
Yeah, you definitely want to eliminate any unnecessary variables that are going to take you down. Not being in shape for a tournament or something like that is unacceptable, and granted, like we said, you're going to get tired. But there's some players that can't play back-to-back points. I coach divisional teams quite a bit, and, our best player sometimes 2 points in a row and he needs a point off. And I'm like, dude, what, it's a tie game right now. In those divisions, it's often, race to 4 or 4-point mercy. Some even race to 3. You need to be able to play all of those points, in those lower divisions. You got to be able to play all of those, so that you're not worrying about that when you're trying to execute a game plan or win a gunfight, make the right move. Yeah, it's crucial.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's kind of what a lot of teams see too, right? I mean, you're looking at younger players and it's like, okay, if you can't go out there, you're a good player, you go out and have one great point, but then you're second wind, but we need to put you back out there to actually win this match, and we can't. So that's definitely one thing I learned when I was very young, that, when I was first starting, I just worked my ass off to try to be in the best shape I could. So, they'd have to put me back out there, I say someone else is tired. Okay, I don't get tired, or I try not to get as tired. Right. So it's like, I'm trying to work to the point where it's like, I don't feel that. And it's also, that's not hindering your playing. So,
yeah, you got to be in paintball shape, man. So as much as you can, obviously working out, I work out too. Marcelo works out, being in the gym, but also having the gun in your hand, being in the mask, having the gear on, and playing paintball is going to get you in the best shape possible to be able to, play those 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th points when you're dead tired and keep on going. And like you said, Chad, that's going to get you in the game. Someone's going to get gassed out. You're going to have that entryway because you're ready,
You're ready for sure.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
got to be ready.
So I want to dive into the early Philly days, being a young kid, because I was, in a similar situation with the Iron Men, a bunch of the old school guys on the West Coast, and you were in that situation on the East Coast. What was that like, that whole experience with that legendary organization at that time? New kid on the scene.
Yeah, so at that point in time, I actually got picked up by Philly when I was 17 after playing a year of D3 with East Coast Killers. And, we'd have Ryan and Tim. That's at the point in time where you can coach from the sidelines. So they would actually have those guys come by and coach with us and help us out. And
nice.
So I joined the team on Philly when I was 17, 2007. And being around those guys already for so long, you kind of built, a friendship with them, and you play against them for so long. It wasn't like I was like their little brother, right? Obviously there was a little bit of hazing, but it wasn't like I heard days of old where, people were really messing with people, or you're carrying everyone's bag and stuff like that. So, it wasn't horrible, but it was definitely a learning experience. And, everyone on that team was for each other and for the betterment of the, organization and team. Obviously, you're as good as your bottom player. So,
that's right.
It was definitely an amazing experience, and being on that team was, crazy, dude. It was amazing.
I can only imagine. What do you think attributed to your success of being able to get on the team, going from D3 to pro at that age. You know, there's probably a lot of people out there that could get some really good insight on you know, how you did that and how they could, you know, make that happen for themselves as well.
Yeah. One of the biggest things I can tell younger players or players looking to go pro is just, you know, keep working, be that sponge, and also just trying different things, right? Being consistent is one of the most, you know, beneficial things anyone can do on the field, right? If you're not consistent, you know, you can't really trust that guy when he's out there, right?
Yeah.
But just learning from everyone and, you know, being that sponge, trying to actually, you know, exploit your weaknesses, work on those, and consistently, you know, go down the field and try to kill a bunch of people.
And show up, man. Like, be there
Yeah.
every time.
Be
even
present, right?
Yeah.
Be listening. Always be listening. Always keep 2 ears open, right? Here we go.
That's why we got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Try and listen and soak things up.
Exactly.
You know? Dang, that's awesome, man. Yeah, it's not something that's super common. You know, us three sitting here started pro when we're young, but you know, it isn't as common as it used to be. I hope that starts to change. I see a lot more kids in the game right now, so hopefully we'll see some more young pros coming on the scene at, you know, 16, 17, in that range. Yeah, we need that.
We do. Yeah. I would like to see a lot of young, hungry players come up through. I mean, there hasn't really been too many younger players pushing anyone out or anything. And you know, like it was in our day, right? When we first came up, it was like those older guys, you know, believed in us, instilled, you know, these pillars of basically how the game is supposed to be played, right? And literally just believed in us to work on it. And I mean, I know for myself, and I know you guys were literally always working. See you guys playing all the time, and just that's what it takes, man. Just literally not stopping and being a sponge as much as possible.
I think part of it is the roster size as well. You know, back then you could have 10 to 15 guys on your team, and you would actually use majority of them, you know, 2 25-minute halves, massive X-ball matches. Now, I mean, you really can get away with 6 guys playing a whole event, you know, and so it's a little more difficult. There's not quite as much space, but I will say this, dude, in about 3 years, I would say tops, there's going to be a new wave of kids. I mean, they've been working, they're getting to that age right now, and they're getting really good. I mean, I'm sure both of you have seen some of these kids, you know, at clinics and stuff around the country, but there's definitely some kids that are really hungry and putting in the work right now, that I've seen firsthand. That give it 3 years, and you know, maybe they'll already be, you know, in the pro scene in a year or two. And, you know, 3 years, I really think that they're going to be making a splash. So, you know, I do think the future is bright as far as that goes, but you're right. It's been so long since there's been, I mean, look, we're the old guys now, essentially, but our old guys are still doing it.
Yeah, that is true.
You know, so it's like, it's kind of crazy. You know, but paintball's like that. You can play, you know, as long as your mind's sharp and you can move, as long as you get around the field, you know, you definitely do have to be in shape. You got to be able to, you know, make bumps and things like that, but it's a mental game, you know? And so you're seeing a lot of experience having success right now.
Yeah, I do agree. And there's, you know, there's so many outlets for players now and younger kids, right? We have a lot of clinics going on. A lot of players are putting clinics on. Before you know, we grew up, we didn't really have that, right? There was a couple, but it wasn't too many pro guys that were willing to be like, all right, come over here, let me show you something. They're like, beat it, little kid, wait your turn. You know? So it's, you know, it is great to see different outlets, you know, obviously play the game. We have clinics now. I mean, there's the combine, there is G2. So there's definitely ways to learn and to be a sponge, right? So it's like people just need to keep feeding off of that and just use these outlets to, you know, be better, obviously.
Yeah. And also, like, the biggest advice I would give to the youngsters, man, want it to be difficult and embrace losing, embrace getting worked over. I hope, because that's the only way you're really going to learn fast and get really good is having those difficult situations, pushing through them, and embracing the hard times. We don't want it to be easy. That's not how we learn. That's not how we get better, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's facing that adversity, right? It's like working towards something, and it's never going to be easy if it's worth working for. It's always going to be hard, and it's still hard. I mean, we're all still working our asses off to be the best, right? And
Yeah.
that's what it takes.
Never
Dude, you just hit on
stops.
something there. Like one, I'm sure you guys have both been asked this, but it's almost turned into a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. But when we do clinics, and I know it's always with good intention and a genuine, want to get better. But the question I always get is, what's the one thing I should work on? And I have to sit back and I say, listen, I am still working on everything. So
Yeah.
what does that tell you? Like, you should
Right.
be working on everything, granted, I mean, maybe there's some where they really need to get their gun skills up to par before they can even focus on other stuff, I guess. But that question is, you're thinking about the game wrong in the first place, in my opinion. You should be focusing on every single detail that goes into the game, being a sponge and a student to all of it. There is no one thing, there's no magic formula, no silver bullet, it's, you got to do everything, so.
Yeah, you're right. You literally have to do everything, and putting yourself in those scenarios time after time. I mean, we've played so much paintball over our careers. It's like you've seen these scenarios happen, 100 times, right? You rewatch film, and before that, you just think about it when you're laying there in bed or when you go home from a tournament. Yeah. It's just trying to figure out what you can do better, what you can do better for your team, right? And it's just being able to actually, get in those scenarios, play more paintball, and see those scenarios unfold. So the next time you see them, they're going to be second nature. It's not going to be anything new.
Yeah. And control the variables that you can control, like your health, your gun, the paint that you choose to shoot, control all of those things so that that's not something that gets in your way when you're out there playing the game and trying to get those W's. Control that.
Absolutely.
Dude, how are you so fast, bro? That's, I mean, seriously, what are you doing?
I'm slow, man. That's why I think I'm slow.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why you're so fast.
That's a great answer right there.
That's what it is. Just always working, man, trying to find a different way to always be better. Never, being complacent, and always trying to find, new things you can try, new ways to be faster, a better routine, or
Someone was just talking to us. They were like, we were watching the pro games, and you got all the pros, but then there's like this top portion, like you watch a Mouse, you watch a Chad George, and you're like, damn, this guy is so fast, and he's running a foot off the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was Drew Templeton. He was on the last show. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about how watching you guys, it's just like you guys are in a elite category of your own, as far as your athleticism, athleticism, and as a shooter, I mean, you guys are so hard to shoot off the break. It's ridiculous trying to shoot you guys, and it's funny, Chad, you and I have had some pretty awesome battles because we've gone over to Australia, and anytime you play against each other in those kind of events, it's fun because it's always, it's a heads up battle essentially.
It is. Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah.
I'm like, what side is Marcelo going to? Okay. Yeah, I'm going this side.
Yeah. And it's like, man, one of the hardest people to gun for, Chad George, dude, hands down.
Appreciate it. I'm quick. I'm not fast. We'll get there though. Working on it.
That's all you need to be, know?
That's probably, yeah, I know, right? That's probably one of the reasons why you are so fast, is because of your mindset on it too. It's never enough. We talk about this book, Limitless, being a cleaner, and just it never being enough.
Relentless.
Yes. Sorry.
Relentless. Yep.
Yeah. And you, no matter what you attain, there's always more, no matter what, you win a tournament, or you win, a basketball game, whatever it is that you're doing, it's never enough. And it should never be enough if you're actually on the pursuit of perfecting your craft and becoming a master at it. That's the only way that you're going to get there, is by having that kind of a mindset. And that's why, you're able to excel and do so well. I do want to get back into like the early years of Philly and kind of dive into that rabbit hole, and kind of get the grassroots on that. And you played with the Philly All-Americans for several years, right?
3 years. Yeah. 3 years, from 2007 to 2009 when we disbanded. Yeah. 2007, joined the team. My first pro event, and obviously being a 17-year-old kid and being fresh. Obviously, they've seen me play and know I can play well, but not really expecting to get any playing time myself. Show up to the first event in LA. They had some, was it that thin carpet,
Oh
basically
yeah.
thin carpet turf on some soft concrete. Yeah. So
Soft concrete.
and there was this really far snake bunker, and really no one could make it. And they let me try it, make it there once, and I made it every point, and just kind of built that, built that inside of them. They were like, okay, they can trust this dude, and he can actually go out there and get it done. I wasn't great, obviously, but everyone on the team was for each other, and that's what was really amazing about that team, the brotherhood, and playing through that season. And we struggled in 2007, trying to kind of find our way in 2008. We were getting a lot better, putting a lot more time in practicing, and yeah, I mean, I was driving out every weekend from my hometown, 4.5 hours, there and back, to practice and stuff like that. So it was like I'd play at that indoor I played at home during the week, and then I'd go out to practice. And that was how it was for probably 2 years, 3 years on that team. Yeah. But yeah, in 2008, we ended up playing you guys in the finals, Marcelo. That was a back and forth match for World Cup. And, that was kind of felt like that was where we were finding our stride with the team, with, the guys we had. And we ended up picking up, we had for Fedorov that year, and, finding him on that team and getting him going, and everybody was just literally gelling so well. And I think 2009, we were really coming into our own. We won that Phoenix event, and we struggled the next two. I didn't struggle, but it was back and forth. It was probably second and a third, I believe we got. But then we also made it to the finals again in 2009 for World Cup against Russian Legion. And that was the second World Cup I lost, took second to. So that was pretty wild. But
the Russians at that time just did something to where in the finals they'd play a completely different game and dominate.
Yeah.
So we played them the event before, and I think it was Chicago. So right before World Cup, they won both those. They won the Chicago event, and they went on to win World Cup, and both were just dominating performances. But I think they beat us 6-1 in the finals. We felt so good going into that game against them too. It felt like we playing really well, had everything figured out. And I mean, they made our organization look like children, just the game planning and the way they broke us down and broke down our plays. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Very meticulous, meticulous, filming everybody, always looking at your plays, knowing exactly what you want to do inside out. Yeah. That's kind of how it was when we played them in the finals in 2009. It was, we played a good game in the first one. I think we beat them, I think it was 9-3 or something. And then the second game they came out because it was best of 3, right? Yeah. And we came out that second match and they just put a whooping on us. I think it was like 7-1 or something. I don't even know, but it was pretty bad. And then the next match was a little back and forth, but we still ended up, not being able to close it out. They play a solid game. Definitely control the field very well.
Oh yeah. And at that time they were doing the work that really nobody else was doing with the filming and the stats.
Right.
Now we have, thank God for Go Sports, it's kind of leveled the playing field for everybody, right? Because now we all have that type of intel that we can watch and study games. But yeah, definitely they were working with a whole different ball game. And in like 2008, when you guys started to get the ball rolling in the right direction, and then obviously leading into 2009, what was the chemistry like off the field? Did that have anything to do with why you guys started to do better on the field? Or anything like that?
I think so, but I mean, our chemistry the whole way through, like ever since I joined the team in 2007, 2009 was the same. Everyone was just family, right? So yeah, I think being able to grow a couple players and get everyone in the same system, right? Because that was the first year we had Fedorov. I mean, I was still coming into my own as a, snake player. We had Fatty, we had Sam come on the team as well in that year. Yeah. So it was just like a culmination of putting the work in, figuring out the playing style we wanted to exploit, and literally just going for it.
Yeah, that's what Drew was talking about. He was like, sometimes it just takes buffer. There's like this, this season of buffer time when you build an organization. If you have a good tournament or a couple, that's amazing. But typically it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle that first season there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
just takes time, man. Sometimes it's just getting everyone going and getting building that chemistry where you can go out there and everyone knows exactly what is going on and what is, to play for the guy next to you, right? So
Yeah. Dude, Team America. Shout out to Spesh. He was on the squad too, right?
yeah,
Dang.
it was.
Oh, dude,
they
that
were
guy.
definitely Team America.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, with
100%.
Ryan and him, of course.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll tell you what, Ryan had me gassed up before the finals of this last one. We had his flag. I think Verbal got a
posted that. Yeah, dude, that was wild. That was so good. That pumped me up after the event. I was like, let's go do it again.
I know. Oh
no,
my
it's just
God.
some of those moments, right? Like right before a finals match or right before any match, when you're just walking around talking to your brothers, literally just pumped up, pacing like wild tigers, ready to jump out of the cage, dude. It's exactly what we kept saying. Dude, it's just some of those moments you just cherish those forever.
For an eternity.
So
yeah, they're timeless.
Some players will never even experience that either, which is it's a bummer, but those moments are incredibly special. There's no way to describe the feeling of being in a finals before the game, the anthem. It makes me just salivate over the idea of like the NFL or the NBA, how special that must feel, with that many people in attendance.
Oh my God, I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be I imagine it's an out of body experience, truthfully,
It has to be,
it has to be.
That many people, you just hear roaring stands and just hair standing up the back of your neck.
Yeah, if that doesn't send you
playing for the same thing, dude, it's amazing.
Yeah. If that doesn't send you into just full flow state, I mean, I don't know what would,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives me the chills just talking about it, dude.
I
Just
know,
thinking
dude.
about
like getting up in my chair. Let's go.
yeah.
I mean, dude, honestly, Chad, you remember like 08, those finals, and 07, those finals at Disney? I feel like they kind of emulated that with the stands were, pretty much around the whole field. One thing I missed too is that the stands used to be elevated as well. So like the first row was up higher, and it just made the magnitude of the grandstand seem, much bigger.
It did colossal for sure. And I kind of felt like that feeling was in 2018 when we won that World Cup. It was just so loud, and it's like you could barely hear your guys talking next to you. After every point or every kill, you just heard an uproar. You're like, is that good or bad? Oh, pretty good. Okay.
I want to talk about that actually, because I was up in the tower commenting that game. We lost earlier in the day, and that's one of the craziest finals I've ever seen, because it was so loud. I don't think I've ever seen that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You guys couldn't talk to each other on the field.
It was so hard, like literally using hand signals at a couple points. And it was just the craziest atmosphere and just the most electrifying atmosphere I've ever played in.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
You think about it, like if paintball did grow to, those levels, communication is such a big part of the game. You have to let the players be mic'd up. Or
move the stands farther back. Yeah.
Yeah. Or move the stands farther back and up. Yeah. But still, exactly. Like if you have that many people, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. That's
wild, actually.
Wild.
Test out.
This
World Cup.
Maybe.
When you play you guys in the finals, right?
Yeah, there we go. I like it, dude. That'd be a good match, 100%. Yeah. For all time's sake, run it back.
There you go.
I think that was set up. I had like this aha moment of, if paintball does grow, the game completely changes. And actually, the Russians play to that kind of style. Sometimes they don't really talk to each other that much. They're just out there moving off of each other. Chemistry plays a huge role in it.
Right.
Your game plan and intention in the game plan from the start is vital, but yeah, that's an interesting concept, because communication is a massive part of the game. And if it was so loud like that all the time, or even louder, which it very well could be, we would have to do something. Stands further back or mic the players up.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what they would do or what you could do with that for sure.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Hand signals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hand signals would for sure come into play. But I think that each team, even today, should have one player or a couple players mic'd up that like Maddie could tap into and kind of get an on-field feel for what is going on out there. Obviously, if they can hear what you're saying and then they're like relaying it to the team, that wouldn't be cool. But
yeah,
at least the viewers would know, because communication's everything in paintball.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Mhm.
that would be interesting. Definitely would be a little gray area going on if they did that, but I
For
don't know
sure.
how you'd police that or
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know.
I guess they would have to be, assigned by the league.
Mhm.
Like remember, back in the day, virtue boards in 7-man, you had to have a special virtue board to play 7-man, so they knew it was legal, and they had a way of testing to make sure that board was in your gun. You guys remember that,
Oh
right?
yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 They had little chips on them. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a chip.
Mhm.
It'd be something along those lines. I mean, like, surely we have the technology to make sure
Yeah.
that no one's, sideline coaching essentially in your ear. But you are right. I mean,
Someone's
People
gonna
would find a way.
yeah,
I think,
someo's
dude.
gonna find a way,
That's just
dude.
how it
Yeah,
is, dude.
yeah,
If
yeah,
there's
yeah,
another thing you can actually get by on,
yeah.
some people will try to find a way.
You honestly,
Yeah.
you just make the punishment like a year suspension. You make that some type of grand cheating.
Yeah.
To really deter people from doing it. But
Yeah.
we'll see. We're not there yet.
Play the game.
We're not there yet. Yeah, play the game.
It's funny.
That finals was epic though. Absolutely epic. All the way down to the end too. One of the more
Insane.
fun ones I've ever watched. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, talk
Crazy
about the
one to be a
end
part
there.
of.
Yeah,
Kirill got that penalty, man, and that was a
I
So that was
know.
2019, actually.
oh
Yeah.
Dude, I think
2018 was the year before we beat them, but it was just little different circumstances, but still back and forth, obviously, right until the end. But yeah, 2019 was the one where Kirill came through.
Yeah, because 2018, you were in the finals with me, Marcelo. We played the World Cup finals in 2018. We
No,
got
we didn't.
second place.
No,
Or was
was
that
17?
17?
that was 17. Yeah,
Yeah,
then we
against
won
Impact.
2018, 2019.
Yeah, that's right. 17.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back to back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, those are some fun games to watch, dude.
Dude, wild. Some of the craziest games I've been a part of, actually, just with the the energy of the stands, just
Mm-hmm. It was lit.
being there, a part of that, right?
Mhm.
Insane.
So what happened
Can't even really
after?
put that into words.
Yeah, I know. To be there and feel that energy, you can definitely not convey that through a podcast. It's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, you got to experience it.
Yeah, absolutely. So after the few years with the Philly Americans, walk us through how that transition went.
Transition to the next team or what?
Yeah.
All right. So 2009, we finished the season, and it came down to the recession, all of the banks kind of looking to close their big loans, and we actually had to close down smart parts. The team folded, and we were all scrambling, looking for. Well, actually, we were waiting for the longest time. We all literally waited forever and try to figure it out, and hoping. Adam was hoping to still keep the team around, and it just didn't actually come through, and we couldn't make it happen. So we had Tim, Sam, Son, Pat went to Aftershock. Ryan actually went over to Impact, and Jason Edwards went back to Damage. Fedorov went back to the Russians, and I was looking around and actually got a call from Davey Williamson, play for Dynasty.
Yeah.
So kind of took that opportunity, and I was pretty stoked about it. Play for a legendary team, and it was definitely good to move out of that and play for a different team, play for a different group of guys, and learn and grow. So that was definitely a great opportunity, and learned a lot from those guys. And 2010 was a great year. It was a good year. We won the first event in HB.
That's always a good start right there.
Dude, such a fun event.
Yeah,
for sure. So that was a great start. And then after that, it was kind of like we just didn't have the same group of guys, same roster. At every event after that was a different roster. We had a couple of guys stop playing. I think Johnny Perchek left. Alex Frazier was in and out a little bit. Yeah, it was just we struggled a little bit towards the end of the season, and then kind of scraped together a team for World Cup, and just didn't do too well. But it was definitely a great learning experience to be on the West Coast, playing against different teams, playing with those guys, they seen in magazines for a long time, and looked up to all those dudes, and it was very cool to see and play alongside of them, and learned a lot, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, man. Especially during that time period, they we're still considered the best in the world and chasing those trophies every tournament. What was one of the biggest things that you probably learned in that camp, playing alongside those guys?
Mm.
Because you were playing the snake, obviously, for them.
Right, right, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a little bit more of playing that two role and then working my way in there just for the playing style. I think Philly was more of a full on all, go forward, go on the break or go as fast as possible. And I
Mm-hmm.
think I started to learn a little bit more of that two spot and then working my way in there a little bit more often
Mm-hmm.
than not with them. But yeah, it's have to say it was just a
So,
different camp, right? It was I think I learned how to work with different guys more because I've only known and only worked with these, certain group of guys for so long, and just being able to work with a different group of guys and teammates, it was
mm-hmm.
beneficial for obviously longevity and being able to go to different teams, being able to guess with different teams. Played in Europe, played with Concilium Day with David Williamson a little bit, Glenn
There we
Takamoto.
go.
So yeah, I started my
I,
going overseas on Philly, but won a couple events with them and the Millennium, but then playing with Concealu Day in a different division, and then also playing pro with them. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, in my opinion, that is what transcended you from a constant threat to one of the most elite attackers to ever play the game, is the fact that you can get shut down as a one, because people can shoot, off the break, and you can be an amazing two and still work your way in there. Like if it's hard to get to a far spot on the field, you can play both positions. You can be the one, be the attacker and go relentlessly, or you could play the slow game. You communicate really well, and then you can attack late in the point. So in my opinion, when you found that gear is when you really, really transcended to the next level. And I think that's how it is for most front players, right? Like Mouse was the
Mm-hmm.
same way coming up,
Mhm.
it was when he learned how to play that two role as well that he became so deadly, being able to have both those gears there. It's crucial.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Because you got the varying speeds, you have different options, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
actually, be more unpredictable if you're not just obviously running somewhere on the break or just being the far wide guy. It's
Totally.
just being able to vary that speed, or honestly, just look like you're running and have someone that go underneath you, right? So it's a
Mm-hmm.
different look. So I
Yeah.
definitely think that is super beneficial to be able to reel it back. You can teach players to, or you can't teach players to be super aggressive. Obviously, you can, but it takes a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
Teaching
Mm-hmm.
them how to be a little bit of a better back player is, that's how it starts. And then you can't teach players to be obviously that number one attackers, as easily, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just that mentality also comes down to decision making too. Like, you're not one of those players that makes those mistakes late in a match where you're up points and you don't need to make a move and you go and make a stupid move and get shot and blow aside, for your team. Like
Right.
that's the kind of stuff that really haunts aggressive players, and it costs their teams tournaments over and over and over. I mean, we've all seen it, numerous times. And so that being able to play both paces, I mean, just for all the listeners that I guess if you want one thing, there's your one thing. Learn how to
That's
play
true. That
both
is a good one
paces.
thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you have to be able to play fast and slow and know when to turn it on and off. That's what
Right.
the great players do.
And it's just good decision making too. It's mental toughness when you're up there, and it's also just being able to put those percentages in your head, right? It's like, all right,
Mhm.
if I over battle here, that puts everyone in a worse spot, right? If we try to make this move too quick, or if I miss this window, what's going to happen? It's just playing it by the numbers and trying to think what is going to be better for the team the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
definitely that.
actually one of the bullet points that I wanted to talk about with you is, the key points when gunfighting. And not only is it being meticulous with your body positioning and not giving yourself away before you snap out, but the decision making, that's everything in playing those percentages, and leveraging yourself when you need to, and kind of holding back a little bit when you need to. That's the key point right there to the gunfight.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a huge part of the game. And it's like you see players get in there and they're like, all right, I made this sweet spot. Let me just come out and shoot everybody right now. Okay, well, obviously look for the lanes, give it a second,
Yeah.
think about what's going to happen, or think about what could happen if you just obviously battle right to your death. Obviously, it's not
Yeah.
good. But I
Yeah.
mean, playing it by the numbers and just kind of exploit, the easy kills, right? Take those inside kills when they come, but always win your side. is kind of like the thing that, you know, has helped me throughout my whole career is you take those easy kills when you can, but never obviously take your eyes off of what's going on in front of you. Always win what's in front of you, and then those will come. So
Bingo, dude. We preach that. We preach it. Yeah.
That's
one of the
it
most
right
important
there.
things, man. They get too excited for trying
Yeah.
to shoot inside, and then you get bunkered in your back. It's like, great, you made it there. You just let everyone know you're there. And you're just trying to shoot a lane on this doing Drito side. So yeah.
It's like they have a big empty plate and they run into the buffet and they're like, oh, look at all the food, but they don't know if they would just look the other way, there's a bigger meal down that way, and you're not going to get bunkered up your back, you know?
Right. Yeah. That's the bigger meal, is winning the actual point, winning that your side first.
Exactly.
Sure.
You know, the tough thing about that for players though is often like maybe they'll shoot somebody, maybe even two people on the inside, but then get bunkered and they lose the point, but they go, I shot two people. I had a good point. It's like, no, you did not. You had the advantage over here. The other team wasn't wide. You looked inside, shot two people, but you let them fill out wide, come down, bunker you, and turn the tables. Like,
yeah,
that's
you let them in our corner then. Right.
Exactly.
No,
And
it's just not getting tunnel vision out there. Is what it is. It's like you're looking at one thing and you got to be thinking about other things, right? Take that shot quick. Don't worry about it if it's not there.
right. Exactly.
So
Chess.
Yeah.
Chess, not checkers.
chess game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, dude.
It really is a beautiful game of chess out there.
It is. Truly.
Best one I've ever played.
Living chess. That's it.
Let's see. Where were we as far as team goes?
We were on
Impact Journey and then
Dynasty right then.
Oh, we didn't get to Impact. We didn't get to
Impact.
that.
Yeah. 2010
okay.
on Dynasty. And then after World Cup in that year, I got a call from Ryan Moorhead. He'd already played on Impact for a season, and they were looking to pick up a few guys. They're getting rid of some Canadian guys. So they actually picked up me and Tim Montresor for that year. So that was
dude, that's tight.
obviously another growing moment, but also getting to play with my boys again was amazing, you know.
Yeah.
And meeting all the Impact dudes, those guys are so super sweet and just always a good time. So, you know, that was an awesome season. Playing with, obviously learning from other players and getting, you know, in the mix with them and just growing with those dudes. It was great. Played for Impact for 2 seasons. And when I actually started in 2012 with Impact, I got a call, or actually living with Sam Monville. He was telling me about Houston Heat being, you know, this Randy Sarge is looking to trying to build a pro team, right? And I was like, okay, well, you know, I'm already playing for Impact. I don't really see me leaving, and I don't know if I could honestly go play for Houston Heat with the gun sponsorship at that time. I was using Eclipse on Impact. So in 2012, I went out to just to practice. They're like, all right, well, we already got you a flight. If you just want to come out and play, that's fine. And he's like, dude, just come out and play for the weekend. Sam's like, come out and play for the weekend, have a good time, and, you know, see where it goes, if anything, you know. So I was like, all right, yeah. Showed up, and we, you know, had a great weekend, played with them, and ended up trying to figure it out. And it was like, I wanted to play for the team. All those dudes are super cool, meeting all the new guys, seeing Fedorov again, having Sam on the team. Yeah. And, you know, it was wild. I was like, I don't think I'd honestly be able to play with you guys just with the gun sponsorships. I don't think it'd work because you guys are going to shoot Luxes. And obviously I'm still under contract with Impact. So thank, you know, Adam Gardner. He's just the best dude ever. And let me play on the team with an Ego. So everyone always knew I was alive with a Ego 11 for sure. It was so loud. But no, that was probably one of the coolest years playing for, you know, 2 of the top organizations, you know, in paintball. You know, one was 7-man, obviously, because they weren't allowed to play in the PSP, and then, you know, joining this new journey with Houston Heat and winning the first event right off the rip. And taking second the next one. Yeah, we won 3 events that year. So that was like a super solid year. And then after that, I kind of just made the decision to stick with Heat in 2013 for the full season, because Impact was coming over to play in the PSP at that point in time. So
yeah. Oh, that's really interesting. I had no clue all the backstory on that with the sponsorship. That's wild.
Yeah, wasn't sure it was actually going to happen. And, you know, Adam Gardner's just an awesome dude, and he was like, all right, you know,
Yeah.
having so much history with Philly, and he's always taking care of us and
Yeah.
just being a great guy, and actually it allowed me to play with my ego on the team. And
yeah, the Goose.
Well, that paid off, right? That paid off
For sure.
for old Adam. Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. Smart play. He was playing chess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Always.
I'm gonna let you use your other gun for this year or these events. You're gonna be using my gun pretty soon, kid.
The Goose is always working his angle.
Yeah.
We can't
see
wait.
that, Marcelo. Wait 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's coming for you, dude.
Nice,
Yeah.
man. I'm excited to watch him
awesome.
play out there.
And actually, he's going to be
Cool,
coming
his
on.
kids playing now.
Oh yeah,
Oh, is he?
that's tight. His kid's playing.
Nice. His kid is playing. Yeah, his kid's been playing a lot lately, and it's awesome because the first ICC, his kid Jude watched him play, and he's like, he knew his dad was good, right? Never really saw him play because he actually stopped a little bit beforehand, right, or before he remembered, and that was really cool to seeing Jude,
Wow.
get so excited about it, knowing who his dad was, seeing his dad play, and they're just getting super enthralled with the game. And actually, he's playing all the time now. He's won a couple tournaments. I have him out back
There we
at the
go.
DLX factory, snap shooting with me every once in a while. Got to get him ready for the ICC. So yeah,
Clocking
pretty
in.
cool to see, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, we're excited to have Adam on the show. I was talking with Moorhead,
That's so sweet.
and we're going to start lining that show up here pretty soon and have him tell all those epic stories. Can't wait to get his like grassroots in the game.
I love that, man. That's gonna be great. It's gonna be that history behind all that. It's gonna be sweet.
And we'll
Listen to
introduce
that
him
one.
as the Goose too. So it'll be
The
great.
Goose, baby. You'll
Dude,
love
they
that.
Chad, are you aware of the Keeper Fantasy Football League they have that Adam has with the Dynasty guys still?
Oh yeah, they're
God,
all in
dude.
the fantasy. Do they play it all?
Yeah.
Every sport.
That sounds fun. I want to get in on one of the Keeper leagues. That's sweet.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool league actually.
So
Maybe we
what's the
should
deal
start
on
one.
that? What's the deal?
So
on
it's year after year, right? So you don't
Never
reset
changes.
your lineup each year. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
you have
it's ran
contracts
like
for
real football.
players, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, you have like a set salary that you can work with. You have contracts for players. So when you sign a player, you sign them for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. You know what I mean?
What?
It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool,
Well,
Definitely a cool
PTG
way to play.
Nation, we're gonna start a PTG one.
Oh, there you go.
dude. Let's do that. That's
Yeah.
a great idea.
a good
That'll be
idea.
fun. Yeah, that's
In
a
the-
great idea.
In the Discord, we'll do one in the
Done.
Discord. Yeah.
Done. What a great
Yeah.
idea.
Nice.
I like
yeah.
it. We'll invite you too, Chad. You
All
can
right,
be
perfect.
part of the.
I'm not the biggest fantasy
Instagram,
player,
yeah.
but
Okay. All right.
And
possibly get on that.
yeah, anybody who's
Like
on
watching.
the show. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just being in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody who's on the show gets automatic pass into the Discord to hang out with our community that we have growing in there. It's been really fun growing that whole thing, and they love that we are able to give them the insight on like who's coming on the show, and then they can ask questions through the Discord.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
we actually have some more questions for you here towards the end of the show that we'll dive into as
All right.
well.
Right on, for sure.
Totally. We do. Yeah, man. Okay. So where were we? We were
Impactors.
you were with Impact, and then they let you guessed with Heat.
hmm
hmm
Played for
And
both
so
teams
then-
at the same time, and that was in 2012, right? And then we had a great year with Heat, and I made the decision to continue full time with playing with Houston Heat. Got my Lux back in my hands,
There we go.
and yeah, it was. Yeah, it's been the longest team I've ever played for now. It's pretty wild. It's 2013, 14. I mean, we've had
Wow.
a lot of good years, and we went through a bunch of different rosters, but I mean,
hmm
the atmosphere on the team, and it's like it's the best organization I can ever hope for, and they do a great job. Thank you, Randy and Mama D and all the Granny Heaters and everyone from top to
Yeah.
bottom. It's just an amazing atmosphere, and he does everything to basically just obviously let you do your job, let you play paintball, and that is that means the world to me. It's huge.
hmm Shout out to the stash.
Yeah.
If you could see us
Yeah,
The
now,
Stash Bros.
what did you say? The Super Stash Bros.
Super Stash
Super
Bros.
Stash
Super
Bros.
Stash
Oh,
Bros. Yeah. you guys haven't come up with that? Did I come up with that?
That was that's pretty good. Super Stash
right.
Bros.
think
No,
you might
let's
have.
take it.
Nice
Nice.
work on that.
There we
There you
go.
go.
Yeah, super
Chalk
Stash
one
Bros.
up.
Yeah, boom.
We're gonna have to put the Mario and Luigi. I'm obviously Luigi, and
For sure.
have us run around.
I like it.
Oh, that's
hilarious.
fantastic. Didn't you guys, the Heat guys did, I think it was Yaya and Ronnie dressed up as Mario and Luigi for
They did,
Halloween.
yeah.
Went out
So
to
I
the
was just
paintball
thinking
field.
of,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
So you guys already got the costumes.
Yep.
Super Stash
Perfect.
Bros.
We're coming.
You
I'm
can
sure
borrow
Steve-
Ronnie's, Tyler.
There we go.
Squeeze into that thing.
Yeah, I'll just have
I'm sure Steve.
my shins and forearms will be hanging out of it, you know? It'll be
Yeah.
so small.
I think it was
Stretch
really big
Armstrong.
on him. Yeah. But we're gonna have to have Steve put together a little emoji in the Discord for the Super Stash Bros. He's gonna come up with a little
Yeah.
graphic for that. That's gonna be perfect. It's great.
He's so good.
All
Shout
right.
out to Steve.
So yeah, shout out to Steve, 100%. He's a wizard on the computer with the graphics.
He
He's
is.
always chalking up some cool stuff for the Discord members.
Mhm.
But okay, so yeah, dude, longest tenure has been with them for sure, and I feel like you've just really solidified yourself. Obviously, have won more than most, and you've been a dominator, multiple MVPs. You also became kind of a one-on-one champion. So I did want to talk to you about that a little bit. I think everybody knows, and kind of curious now, and not to, pin you guys against each other at all, but Tyler is also the one-on-one champion, right? So I'm curious as to who Heat would put out, because I know anytime in the past when it comes to one-on-ones, like you're putting Chad George out there, and on Dynasty, same thing. If we were ever in that situation, we're going to put Tyler out there,
Right.
And so that just came to my head. That wasn't my question or concern.
I want George in first. Clean him up, baby. Clean him
up.
up.
I mean, dude, Chad's
Dude.
nasty.
Yeah.
That's the hardest job on that pick for sure,
Yeah.
man. That is a tough one.
Clean
Flip
him
a
up,
coin.
dog.
Just flip a coin.
It is, yeah.
Just flip a coin.
Either
Just,
way-
draw names out of a hat. Who do you want?
Yeah, either way, you're getting
so-
a super stash, bro. So just run him
For
down.
sure.
So my question though, Chad, was how did you become such a good one-on-one player? Because it's something that you've really excelled in, and it's more than just skill, right? It's being able to take in that moment. So, I know you mentioned rock climbing and being able to calm your mind in a high pressure situation, which is interesting because one-on-ones, when you're in that situation, I mean, the weight of the match on Sunday is on your shoulders and it's just you. And you also mentioned that you played a lot of indoor, which I know at indoor fiels, it's a lot of fundamentals you work on.
It is, yeah.
But the question's for you, man. What do you think has led to so much success in your one-on-ones?
I don't know, man. Honestly, it's just not wanting to lose. I don't know. It's just literally going out there and just trying to not make any mistakes. It is not giving them an inch and just trying to be super quick. And I don't really, I mean, it's a great question. I thank you for asking. I'm actually not sure. It just
Good
Yeah.
decisions. Yeah.
yeah, it's just good decisions. Literally, it's just going out there and not wanting to lose. I mean, I don't know really when. I mean, I've won a couple tournaments like that, and I've,
Yeah. Well, you
it's interesting. It's
just in the moment when you're in that kind of flow state where obviously you guys talked about it a lot on the show, where it's like you feel it. Everything feels good. Nothing feels adverse. Nothing feels hard, and you're going to win it. And just believing in yourself basically is the whole thing. And being put out there for your team. Like, I know we played John Jackson the one time, or Fuzzy, and it was we put Fedorov out first. He didn't know it was a minute to actually win it, so time expired, and they put me out. I was like, dude, this is gonna be wild. And like, I was like, all right, I'm ready for this. But it was also, there was a little nerves actually going out there, and it's just as soon as you get to the box, the horn goes off, and nothing else matters. It's just me or you. So
yeah.
It's interesting that a lot of experts actually do have trouble sometimes explaining things like that. Like, I go golfing with one of my buddies who's golfed since he was a little kid. He's really good. I mean, he shoots like in the 60s, low 70s pretty consistently,
right.
And he can't teach for shit. He'll hit a shot and I'm like, how'd you do that? And he has no clue. He's like, I don't know. You just
do it.
Step up to the ball and I just do it, And I'm like, thanks, dude. That does me no good. But I get it. You've just been doing it for so long. You step up there, you have the confidence, you have you're in the flow state, which is a legitimate thing. And so,
I guess hard work, obviously, being, snapping a lot, being confident in what you're going to do out there. I mean, we play a lot of one-on-ones, but it's, it's not like I'm going out and only playing one-on-ones at the field. It's just never trying to make a mistake, and just, me or you, like I said, it was just, it's what it comes down to. And
well, don't get it twisted. My man is at the back of the Smart Parts building with a bunker, shooting snapshots at work. He's clocked in. He's putting in work. He's gunfighting.
Putting
He's
work in.
meticulous. And that plays into the confidence, right? You step
Absolutely.
out
That's
there.
how I build my confidence. To be honest, I just do enough and do as much as possible to where there's no doubt in my mind when I go out there.
Yeah.
I have put the work in. There's no doubt, thinking about what if this happened, what if this happens. It's only what is going to happen under my power, or, what I can control is
Yeah.
what I try to do. So
Yeah, because you know what you've applied to that process. You know how much it means to you, and it makes you dig that much deeper when you get in that moment because you know what you've done to prepare for
Right.
that time, for sure.
Yeah. And just thinking about, everyone else that got you to that point, right? On your team for that, in that tournament, in that match, till that, one-on-one comes down to, you never want to let any of those guys down for all the hard work and, blood, sweat, and tears they put into the game and, leading up to these tournaments and,
Yeah.
Doing everything for your brothers that you can to, put that W on the board.
That's it. Yeah. So walk us through, obviously you've been with Heat for about 8. Is this your 9th season?
I believe this is 10th season of the team. No,
Yeah.
2012.
12. Yeah. So wow, dude, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So kind of, give us the bullet points and walk us through each season a little bit, and then we'll round out with some questions from our awesome
Okay.
PTG family.
Absolutely. So 2013 and 14, we picked up, actually I'm not sure exactly what year that it was, but we picked up Ryan Moorhead, Greg Sewers, and Tim Montresor. And we actually had the Russians, they actually went back and played with Art Chaos. So we had
That's right.
had Jason Trozen coaching us then, and we had an all right season. We didn't do great, but we were, finding our stride with the new guys and getting everyone going in the same camp. And we ended up switching our coach to Sam Monville after that. So we had the next season we had Sam Monville coaching, and we did better. We had a good run in Europe. We played both leagues back and forth, and we were all traveling a lot and having a great time. And we ended up having a couple of roster changes, but not very many in those 2 years. And then it came to probably 2017, I believe. I could be getting the years wrong on when we got our players back, but I'm horrible at that. No, we ended up getting Fedorov back, and we ended up having, I think it was Fedorov, Mishka, Sergey, and Malloy on the team as well.
Jeez. How did that come to be?
That was wild. Literally our chaos, I think, was disbanding, and they gave them a call and they're like, hey, these are the guys, and if you want them, that's it, so we got those guys in the team, and that was good. I think there was just a lot of weapons and a lot of people to choose from, and I think more often than not we put out the right guys, and I think we just got we didn't do a great job, but we did pretty well, and it was a good season. But I think in 2018 we had 2017 we had Ryan Smith coaching.
Yeah.
So it was really good. He actually stepped into that role, and I don't think either Sam or Ryan was done with their playing career yet. So that was a little bit of a not a wake up call, but it was just different, right? It was just they were trying it out, and I'm glad we got those players back on the team and playing again, because they they're still killers, and they aren't ready to be done playing for sure.
Hell no, dude. Both of them. I've seen Monville pull out situations where I'm like, what the hell? That was insane. That he's just a magician on the field. And I am so proud of Ryan. We talked with him on the show about, just what this last tournament, winning that, and him playing all the way through the whole event. Just couldn't be more proud of that guy, and really excited to watch him flourish into the future here.
Absolutely. I've known him, obviously he's been around the team with his parents, obviously, since the beginning. He left for a little hiatus when we played for VCK, but that was the best I've seen him play in a long time. And he's played so well. And it's just the culmination of just learning and growing through all these years. And he crushed it, man. He killed it for us.
I know. So stoked for him.
He played really well.
He played really well.
Yeah, it's good to see. We definitely let him know. I let him know when he was on
Yeah.
the show too. You know, that's awesome to see him get the start like that and get that win, especially on that team. You know, on Houston Heat with all the stars that you guys have. So that was, you know, pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely a special moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Birdie killed it.
Yeah, Bird.
Indeed.
Birdman.
Chad, I'm sure you watch film. What are some things you look for when you either watch film or you're scouting teams? You know, a lot of divisional players, they may not be able to watch film, but they could all watch teams that they're playing against right. at the field. What are some things that you look for?
Obviously tendencies in certain players, what they like to do, if they're actually, you know, getting crafty in a certain position. So you can actually look for, you know, variables. Obviously, if they're bouncing around on this past snake in Philly, right, you can do a lot of creative movement around in there to kind of trap players into come getting you, or, you know, playing your hand that you would rather, you know, have the upper hand on. So I think that's one thing I look for a lot in you know, film is, you know, tendencies, obviously, different routes people run, try to see it, you know, for our guys, you know, shooting on the break, or right, if they're seeing something I don't. But I would have to say probably tendencies and just different ways of looking at the field, right? So, you know, we play a bunch of different pro teams before each event, and you know, you see a lot of different scenarios, but when you get to the event, you know it's going to change. You know, there's going to be certain things you haven't seen sometimes, and then it's just like, okay, you learn from those, or you're just aware of those then. So there is no surprises when you're out there.
Absolutely. Well, I think we can get into some of these questions. We kind of pretty much got through the whole entire Heat lineage. In 2018, obviously, you guys, you know, had that big win, and then 19 as well. Can you kind of walk us through those two wins and what they meant to the organization? Those were huge moments.
They definitely were huge moments. You know, that was 2018 was our second World Cup we've won with the team. The first one was our first year of the team, 2012. But 2018, you know, we were on a dry spell that year, and it was just like, you know, everyone was working hard, everyone was gelling well, and it was one of those ones where you go into it and, you know, this field's good for us. Me and Ryan were playing that snake side together. Fedorov and Ronnie were playing on the Druta side phenomenally, and we had, you know, put anyone in the center and just rip it up, go forward and through there, and it was just it was magical, man. I mean, it's hard to put into words, like I said, but you know, being in that atmosphere, just there's some tournaments, obviously. I mean, this past one, you kind of know, you feel it, where you're like, no, there's no way anything good could go wrong. And that's kind of how it felt in those two as well, where it's just like, no matter what happens in the field, we're always going out there, no matter the time or the point, or, you know, whatever happens, we're taking this and we're getting it. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's
I love that, man.
So back and forth with them, it's like, no matter how much time's on the clock, or, you know, what the score is, it's, you know, everything has to be perfect, and perfection is literally the only thing that matters. So it's one thing we kind of try to exploit and try to be perfect at.
That's it. Let's be perfect. You know, that's what it's all about. That should be the goal, right? Every team stepping onto the field should be shooting for perfection, making sure that we have everything covered, communications on point. We have a supreme awareness of what's going on, clock management, and just being completely dialed in to win. You know, that's the mindset that everybody should have.
It is. Being present. Only one goal on the mind.
That's it. It's a gift, man. Take advantage of that gift and be present.
Doing everything you can in your power to help the guy next to you. And, you know, if everyone's doing that, everyone's covered, right?
Yeah. Yep. Teamwork makes the dream work, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Until you could pull up off the gate, shoot 5 paintballs, and eliminate 5 players, you've got something to work on.
That's true. Always something to work on.
That's I think that's the only and every single game too, right?
Yeah.
So until you can do that, then there's stuff to work on.
That's it.
Sure.
All right, it is late where my man's at right now. I mean, it's almost 10 o'clock. Thank you, Chad, for doing this, dude. You are the man.
Thank you, guys.
Sharing this space with the PTG fam here.
I do appreciate it, man. Thank you guys so much for having me on, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. I do have a question. We have a few. I think we have 2 or 3 questions before we go. This one's an important one.
Okay.
From Rounder. He wants to know, you already answered this, but do you have a day job, and which strip club is it? He sees the stash. He knows.
Fly back and forth to Vegas. We do a lot of Chippendales, Thunder Down Under. Yeah.
It's a hard job, but someone's got to do it, man.
Oh,
Dude,
that's
someone's
hilarious.
got to do it. I go to Australia,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
something. Yeah, I did want to ask that personally as well, because you're one of the fortunate pros that have traveled extensively for the game.
Mhm.
Do you have a favorite place you've been, or favorite event, favorite experience, favorite trip?
There's just so many.
Of course,
It's so tough. I mean, it's
Share
hard to
one.
answer that, but I'll say one thing about traveling and guesting. I mean, that is literally, more people should do that, and if you can, obviously, because that has taught me a lot of things. As for being the guy on the team, also teaching players, and being more mindful of communicating, helping everyone out. It just helps you when you come back to your team, being that much better for your team, and actually personally, right? Because teaches you how to be a go-getter and stay alive doing it. Because if you don't, in some countries you go play with some of these teams, if you don't shoot 4 dudes and leave it to a 4-on-1, you might not win that match. But as for favorite place, I don't know, man. I mean, just with frequency and how much I enjoy going to Australia, I'd have to say a bunch of playing with the Eskimo bros over there. I'd have to say right now, it's the one that comes to mind is going over and playing in Australia, or maybe in Asia, when Sam and Tim would go over there and play in the Asia World Cup and stay over there for a month, stuff like that. I think Asia is one of my favorite places in the world. And then going over there and experiencing it with your friends, Tim, Sam, and everything, go over there for a month, out of a backpack, wherever, just going to a couple different countries at a time,
dude.
So,
I can't wait, dude. I can't wait until
I cannot wait to go back, dude.
That
Open
must
it
have
up.
been
Open it up.
that must have been straight madness. A month out there with that crew, just having the best time of your guys' life.
The best time. We'd play in Australia, and then we go play the Thailand Asia World Cup, and then we go to Langkawi and play that one. But in between, we'd be checking out different countries and checking those off the list in Southeast Asia, and just
amazing.
Best time. It's awesome, dude.
All right, so we got another question here from Bunkered Media. Are you keeping the stash? Definitely fits well, he says. Are you rolling into the next event with it?
Super Stash Bros, baby.
Super Stash Bros. Let's go.
I mean, I think I got to keep it around for a little bit. I'm not superstitious, just a little stitious. So,
I know. I'm with
you. Just got to keep it for a little bit,
Super Stashus.
I've only seen my dad without a mustache for maybe a month in my life. So, he's doing the George family proud. So he's pretty pumped about it too. So he gave me some trimming advice the other day.
The super troopers over here.
Yeah. We're super stashus,
Super stashus.
Super stashus.
Yep.
So,
all right.
Yeah, definitely gonna keep it around, I think, for a little bit.
There we go, babe. Keep that thing around. All right. We got Chris Young. If you had to identify one attribute that has made you one of the game's most dominant snake players, what would it be?
I have to say my decision making or my athleticism.
Absolutely.
I think those both go hand in hand, but I think my athleticism for being small, running low, and just being, as agile and quick as possible, being able to shoot gaps and, think on my feet.
Yeah, totally, man. The athleticism is through the roof, and that's one of those things that we can control, and that's going to keep you on the field going strong into the events.
Absolutely. And longevity, to be honest.
Yeah. Yep. We want to see having the 40-year-old like Tom Brady story. That's what we're shooting for.
Oh yeah, dude. All of us, we're gonna be there.
We'll be there. Lifers, dude.
Yep, lifers can't get away. Can't get
Lord
enough.
willing. Yeah, as long as the old legs will keep kicking, we'll keep showing up on that paintball field out there.
You might have to wheel me out there in a wheelchair too, though, someday. So
I'm right there with you.
If the legs aren't willing, the mind will be. So
yeah,
I'll never stop.
Absolutely.
It's just the best game ever, man.
It really is. And the gifts of the game are just endless, from the friendships to not only the memories on the field, off the field, and just all the amazing people that we get to hang out with and build relationships with. It's everything.
Yeah, that is everything. And the places you see too. I mean, paintball's taken me all over the world, I've been to every continent except for one. And I never thought when I was, little kid I'd ever be doing something like this, but as soon as I found it, I was like, I'm definitely gonna be pro. I want to be. So
Yeah.
just gotta make it happen.
Did you know right away? Like when you first started, did you know this is what you want to do?
So I told my mom, she's my biggest fan, by the way, but I told her the other day I was coming on the podcast. She's like, don't forget to tell him about your eighth grade, whatever you wrote down. It was like eighth grade. Like, what are you going to be when you grow up? I'm going to be a pro paintball player. And that was when I first started. Right. And I was like, oh, got that when I graduated. I was like, sweet, made it.
Awesome.
But yeah, especially when I was like 18, already been pro for a year or two, going overseas. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. So
hey, see the power of the written and spoken word. You already knew where you were headed. You knew.
Absolutely, man. Will it into existence.
Yeah. That's
Always
it,
believe.
man. That's it. Belief is everything. And we got Chris Tucker here. Have you ever played without pads like Ryan, or is he just a wild man?
Dude, he's a wild man. I'm diving on my elbows way too much to put these little skinny, whatever socks he's wearing or something. Nah, he's not wearing socks, but he did the one event.
Yeah. No, he's just rolling straight rugged. Ryan is an inspiration.
He has some shooting sleeves. He has some shooting sleeves on the elbows, and we actually wear the same baseball slider Mizunos. They're pretty thin, but I just, they're light. They're more like a compression sleeve, and it's literally when you know how to dive and slide, you have the body mechanics to do that. It's way easier to actually not get hurt wearing something thinner, because if you're wearing a bigger pad, in my opinion, obviously me and Ryan are always talking about this the same way. Yeah. It's like that pad moves after one slide, or it can actually move with your knee or take your knee in a different direction, right, as you're sliding. So yeah, we wear the same thin pads, and we're just like a compression sleeve, but it's perfect. It's just enough.
Yeah.
But
dude,
definitely wearing pads for sure.
He's such an inspiration to me. Ryan,
I'm still wearing socks too. He's not wearing anything. It's ridiculous.
No chonies, man. No pads, nothing. No. Yeah.
I love the guy. I love it. He was sponsoring me with those knee pads for a while. I was like, hang on, dude, I can't wear them. These are too thin. He's like, trust me, they're the best. I'm like, all right, I'll try them out. And he wasn't wrong.
I actually played with Ryan on Impact for a little bit, and that's where I just fell head over heels in love with that guy. He's so inspiring to me and gets me fired up like nobody else there.
He's the best, man.
He just about broke my spine, smashing me in the back.
Bring it up. You're like, I don't know if I could take one of these slaps from Ryan again.
It's so gnarly.
Yeah, that's usually Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, don't high five me before the game, Tyler. I need to use this hand out there.
Ryan's out there high fiving your middle of your back. He's like,
oh yeah.
But no, dude, it just pumps you up. Sweet.
Gets you lit.
The best dude ever, man.
He really is.
Yeah, Ryan's a great dude.
All right, last question is from Steve SoCal Blaze, and he's just wondering if you could go back and change one decision in your career, what would it be, if any? Not playing, but like a career choice is what he's saying.
Choice. Well, that's a tough one.
No, you're going to be playing paintball, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Career choice. One thing I would change.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever want to do anything else? Was there ever another, did you want to?
Oh, he wrote down what he wanted to do in eighth grade.
Yeah, great, dude. I mean, as soon as I was 13, I knew.
Yeah, he was so committed.
Awesome. Yeah. All in, baby. That's it.
All in, baby. I think it's it.
I love that. I appreciate that so much. All right. Well, hey, from the bottom of our heart, bro, thank you so much for sharing the time with us. It is definitely 10 o'clock where you're at, so you're a trooper for hanging out with us for so long. We appreciate you, man.
Hey, man. Thank you guys for having me on, man. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, yes, brother. Sir. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, man. See you in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Showdown.
Yeah. Showdown, baby. Let's go.
Let's do it, man. Guys. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Peace, Chad.
Peace.
Have a good one.
You too. Yes, sirski. That was a great one with Chad George. Thank you so much, Chad, for coming on the show. And thank you, everybody out there who continues to tune in to Play the Game podcast and support us on our mission to bring you everything paintball, culture, and personal development as we traverse these amazing shows and keep bringing you guys the best paintball content in the world. We're so grateful for every single one of you out there who tunes in. If you want to support the show, you can head over to ptgpodcast.com and become a supporter there. We have all of the podcasts, the YouTube channel, some information about our partners, our PTG merch store, and the one and only Patreon, where you can become a member of the PTG family. And we are building something special with the Patreon and the Discord, which is our private chat room exclusively for all of our Patreon members. It is cracking in the Discord. It is amazing what we're building in there. We have a huge community of people that are coming together for the love of the game and for the culture of paintball. So head over to ptgpodcast.com, check out our Patreon, and become a part of our Discord chat room and join our family. You can also support the show by supporting Rusty Glaze, who made our website. He is amazing, does the best websites possible. You can go to our website and check it out. Head over to constantpursuit.com and support him. If you're a paintball field or store, definitely dial in your website with Rusty. If you have any questions, DM us on Instagram at Play the Game Podcast. And until the next show, keep playing the game out there.